Welcome back to our show, your show, Let's Talk Stocks. And in studio with us this morning is Mr. Dane Spencer. Of course, he's co-founder and CEO of SMS Mobile Solution. Now, our own Silicon Valley here in Jamaica. Dane, welcome to the show.
Yeah, man, thanks for having us.
SMS.
Yes.
Smart Mobile Solutions. Talk to us about that company.
All right.
Who is SMS?
So, if we want to brand SMS as a character or an individual, we basically try to highlight that this is now the Superman of technology coming from Jamaica, the David and Goliath opportunity maker. Because the truth is, where SMS started and where it is today is chalk and cheese. We merely started from just retailing BlackBerry accessories and kind of supporting BlackBerry to evolving into a technology solutions provider, which essentially means that we sell the commodities, we create software, and we manage and support everything that we create. So we're able to now do implementations, large implementations of hardware and software, as well as we are able to create products from scratch, meaning we've created different types of platforms, workflow management solutions, medical practice management solutions, communication platforms, and we've created different things in fintech.
And this is a 50-year-old company, right?
No, we're still very young. I mean, we're 16. We call it our sweet 16.
Yeah.
That's where we are now, and the journey continues. I mean, the growth has been significant, and we have to give thanks for where we are. We're actually very strong with Samsung and Lenovo as brands, and these are our partners. We continue to garner partners as we go along the way, and as we continue to build and provide more value-added services, we add more partners to the table to try and give you that 360 technology view.
Yeah, slow it down. You're saying in 16 years, and you yourself maybe look like you're just out of high school, but in 16 years, you and your partners, Jamaicans, have been able to move from selling BlackBerry accessories
Yes.
to now partnering with some of the greatest technology people around the globe and delivering software solutions from right here in Jamaica.
Yeah, man. That's essentially where we are now, and of course, what we're trying to do is to kind of take it up another notch.
And you still want to go more.
Yeah, man. We have to go further.
Before you go further, I want you to give the viewers an idea of, so we understand where you're coming from and where you started, but give us a wider picture of exactly what you do now.
Okay. All right. So one of our marquee products that we've actually now to reach the point that we can provide is because we're distributors for Samsung, Lenovo, and a lot of ICT brands, we're able to now distribute the technology, whether it to be a reseller or enterprise, governments, businesses like that, as well as we're able to now, with our management tools, provide the security that you require, provide remote management and support, and provide implementation, meaning that we can install these things in your different environments, set them up in remotely as well as on-prem. We're also able to now, based on your needs, customize a software solution to run on that hardware and either build it from scratch, or we kind of customize it from an initial framework that you might have. We do it end to end. We can actually give you products that we already have in stock. We can give you based on frameworks that we've already created. We integrate with different payment gateways, different platforms to be able to provide you with the most comprehensive solution, and probably that which is now purpose built for your company to allow for you to operate digitally in this hemisphere.
Talk to me about the security side, because that's always a concern. As the technology evolves and more people get onto using the technology for their different businesses, security becomes even more critical. Talk to me about
100%.
your role in providing that.
So part of security is at the forefront or embedded in every solution that we provide. So we always look towards how we can make sure that whatever it is that is being provided is at the standard of security that can stand up to today's natural threats. So Samsung, for example, built in with a chipset solution called the Knox that automatically gives you a very high level of security to which we can just now taper on or add on services to that to provide security on the device. Now, as it relates to now probably on the network side, we now probably add layers of protection to allow for even more security from internet-based threats. And the list goes on in terms of how we, in software that we develop, it embedded with software tools to allow for the security to kind of ensure that you have another level of security in terms of the encryption on the applications, as well as the way in which it communicates also encrypted. So we take every step possible to ensure that the solutions that we provide are safe. And of course, we have to continuously be learning and improving. So the maintenance is even more. So when we give you a solution, we're not giving it to you and walking away. We're kind of giving you a solution and continuing to monitor and manage it with you to ensure that we learn the threats, update it, push it to you, and ensure that you're always protected.
Give me an example of some of the things that businesses in Jamaica are asking you for now in terms of the technology and the software that you're developing for different companies, etc.
So we've been digitizing a lot of workflows in different processes that probably would have been manual. Something as simple as document management, capturing signatures, doing it on a tablet, ensuring that these tablets are remotely secured, remotely monitoring them, putting advertising on the tablets when it's not being used in that framework. We've been able to do it end to end in that regard. We've created kiosk type solutions, as I said, remote managed and monitored accordingly. We've been able to do virtual communication platforms that allow for communication via different means and auto responses. So it gives you now that feel of being a first world company. I mean, the fact is that we're in Jamaica. We believe that the technology has to come from abroad, but we imagine it, we develop it with you, we create it to suit the current market and to be able to actually implement it within the current dynamic of the networks that exist, the speeds based on the different regions. Some places are faster and slower. The adoption rate for technology is going to be differently spread across Jamaica itself. And then we're always looking at regional solutions. So when we package it here and it works here, we have similar sister countries across the Caribbean that the same solutions can be applicable. So we're always looking at the region to see how we can help to develop it and innovate to allow for businesses to be even more profitable.
And you're doing that across the region as we speak?
So we already are regional footprint. We work a lot with the carriers across the Caribbean. And based on that, we have regional relationships generally. We speak to different companies across the Caribbean. Guyana being a major market for us. We're looking at Suriname. We have good ties with Cayman and Bermuda, TCI and others. So our objective is to be a regional player that will allow for us to be able to deliver services and provide and facilitate businesses across the region. And of course, we want to be able to facilitate trade across the Caribbean as well.
Of course. How you get to, could you speak to the carriers across the region? You glibly mentioned partnership with Samsung, etc., etc. How do we get to that level? I mean, how?
I always say that I think it's the persistent nature of us as a company. The never say die mentality, always striving to be better, and always trying to be globally competitive. So whatever it is that we need to do to be able to be globally competitive and represent Jamaica in a way where technology, we look at it, we're in the technology Olympics. A lot of the times we want to be just as fast as Usain Bolt in technology, and that's our objective. So we keep trying to propel ourselves to take ourselves to the next level, leveraging the technology that exists and kind of carrying it beyond there. So when we start talking about even AI, automation is AI,
Yes.
but the way in which we will do it and how we will implement it, it has to be relevant to our region based on the data sets that exist. So all of what we have in store and what we plan to do is based on trying to get to the next level. So getting to Samsung and Lenovo was just a part of the journey because you need hardware as a component for the
Yes.
overall technology sphere. So we look at all of these components as just bits and pieces towards creating the solid foundation that a technology company requires.
And you are in looking at what you've been doing and the successes you've had, you are now globally competitive in ranking with these guys out of Silicon Valley, um,
We,
doing things.
well, I would never want to suggest that we can't compete. Of course, we are always trying to compete. But at the end of the day, we know that we're always continuously improving, and that's a part of how we develop software. That's a part of how we actually act as a company. As continuous improvement has to be part of the mandate in order to grow and continue to get better. So if we're good now, we're always our cultural push is to go from good to great. So if we want to be great, then we're going to have to keep on looking at what everybody else is doing and ensuring that we're either going a step above or going at least very close so we can actually now keep pushing the bar to become that great
Then,
company.
do you believe we have the capacity as a country, as a people? So, based on what you have done with SMS, um, Jamaica has generally, when we're looking at employment, we've gone for low paying parts of the sphere. When you look, for instance, we know, so we're big in terms of the telecoms and so on. And but can we look at Jamaica as a hub for technology? Could we, as a country, take that on and compete and match with the big guys out there?
I think generally Jamaicans have great aptitude, and one of the things that we will always recognize is that a Jamaican generally stands out in a crowd. There's no reason that that doesn't transcend into technology. The reality is that the talent is here. We are always trying to innovate. We're always trying to solve problems. Problem solving is a core function of technology. And it's now a facilitator to ensure that businesses can evolve and get better. So yes, the people here are more than capable. The mindset is here because we're always trying to solve problems. We always have problems to solve. So essentially, our minds are always occupied. So yes, I
What
think
kind
we're
of
there.
staff complement you carry with your?
I think at current we're probably between 90 and 100 in terms of full staff complement across the different divisions. So when I look at the technology arms in terms of not just the distribution but the creation of technology, we're actually between 30 and 35 in terms of development and business analyst complement.
And that's where I was going. Developers, you now have persons working in your company who are doing the analysis, the business analysis, looking at what the needs are, what are the problems
Right.
that needs to be solved. And then persons who
Create
take
it.
that on and create those solutions right here as Jamaican people.
Only Jamaicans. And we don't have any Indian developers assigned to us. Our company is purely Jamaican, and we want it to be Caribbean based. And the truth is, of course, there's a wealth of talent in the world, but we believe that we should harness our own first and use the skill sets here to be able to now evolve to be just the world beater, so we can get our gold medal too this summer.
Of course. The region has not always come together, even though the potential, for us as a region, if we were to work together, is tremendous. How important is it for you and your team to lead that level of growth and collaboration across the region as far as technology and technology usage, development and usage is concerned?
I think development has a lot to do with in terms of the problem solving understanding the culture of the Caribbean and being a part of the Caribbean and living it is totally different from being outside and trying to impose a solution locally. So it is very important to have people from the different cultures across the Caribbean to be a part of the development of the technology that they're going to consume. So yes, we believe that it's very important to be Jamaican-based, Caribbean-based, and leveraging the talent of that region to be able to create the solution. So yes, we want to drive and lead, and we're always looking for people to partner with and to work with towards getting that regional footprint and getting the technology into the hands of all of the consumers across the region.
So we've been chatting with Dane Spencer, is co-founder and CEO of Smart Mobile Solutions. Of course, a 16-year-old Jamaican company that is taking technology to another level. We couldn't do it in one show. Come back with us. Tomorrow morning at 9, we'll have another insightful program lined up for you.